From athletes to authors, entertainers to innovators, we connect with those who help shape our culture. Join us in revealing stories of their lives and backgrounds, their triumphs and tragedies that molded them into who they are today. Authentically off-script and personally illuminating, this is Audibles with Jason Scarborough. This week on Audibles, Jalen Williams.
So your story starts in Tylertown, Mississippi. We were talking about it before we started the interview.
Yes, sir.
Tylertown's produced a lot of great athletes and a lot of sports. So how would you describe growing up there in Tylertown?
It's real slow pace because, it's a small town.
Mm-hmm.
You know everybody there, everybody know you. The sports is kind of hard because, it's smaller. You don't have as much stuff as like a 5A school, but definitely said we got good athletes. So regardless of what we got, we're going to be good, whether it's track, basketball, football. We always just have athletes.
How would you describe your family growing up?
We real close. It's like hard to explain. We close but separated at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, let's just say my uncle lives in Georgia, but he'll come down literally any one weekend just see me and my grandma, or just anybody like that. So even though we stay kind of separated, we still close-knit communication-wise.
So your athleticism, you could trace it pretty easily to your dad played basketball at Ole Miss, is that right?
Yes, sir. My mama actually did track, too. She threw, I think, it was discus. So
At Ole Miss?
Yeah, so they're both athletes.
So you get it honest from both sides, right?
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody else that you might be able to trace your athletic ability to besides mom and dad?
I don't know. Honestly, I think it's partially just me, not to sound cocky.
Well, that kind of leads to my next question. I was going to ask, who's the most competitive in your family? Is it mom and dad or you?
I say it's me and my dad, because we play Madden and, even though he can't win, he always put up a good fight. I don't think me and him ever finished a game, though, because the fourth quarter, he always quit. But competitive nature-wise, I give him the edge just for effort.
I love how he just called his dad out right here on TV,
Yes,
man.
sir.
How about that? So how early on did football appear to you as something that, hey, I might be able to have a future in this?
It really is crazy because it came early, but when I first started playing, I did not even like football.
Really?
My grandma had to force me to go to football tryouts, like Pee Wee tryouts. And the first practice, I was like, I don't want to do this. Because I was kind of like an inside kid. I ain't have a lot of friends. I was kind of quiet. I just didn't do much. Then after that, I was like, nah, I don't think this is something I want to do. Then just one random guy, I'll never forget, out of nowhere, he just talked to me. He said, hey, you be good at tripping, just give it a chance. And I was like, if you say so, dude. And I did it. And went from one practice. I got liked it a little more, another practice, just on and on and on. So I was like, hey, I actually like playing football.
So was that push by grandma that kind of helped?
It was more than a push. It was more like a throw. You ain't have much of a choice.
So she didn't give you a choice to get out there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it paid off. You played defensive and offensive line at Tylertown High School. You totaled 111 tackles in your time there. 20 of those were for loss. 13 quarterback hurries your senior season. Do you have a favorite memory from your time at Tylertown?
I got a lot of them. I think I got one of them. I can remember. I want to say it was our junior year. We played West Marion on their senior night. We were down 21-0 halftime. During halftime, we got a safety the first play. It wasn't the first play, but in the middle of not in the middle of halftime, but during the second half. And just from then, we stacked on and on and on. I remember in the fourth quarter, I got a strip set to end the game. And I felt like I was in the Super Bowl or something, the way I celebrated.
I like it. Is there a team or a rival when you were at Tylertown that, for you personally, I mean, it just really got your juices going and you wanted to, if you could run it up on them, who was that team that you just wanted to dominate and just crush?
I'm not going to lie. Pretty much any team we played. I just like winning.
You just like winning?
Yes, sir.
So coming out of Tylertown High School, you settled on Jones Junior College, not far from where we sit,
yes, sir,
to continue your football career. What was it that attracted you to choose Jones Junior College?
I want to say it was the coaches, mainly Coach Drake, the D-line coach.
Mm-hmm.
I sat down and talked to him. I could tell he was a cool dude. He was genuine. He cared about me. And just talking to other coaches like Coach Buckley and just walking around the facility, I was like, okay, it's JUCO. Like normally people they see it's something as bad, but I just saw it like a stepping stone to get where I wanted to be. And I was like, if I had to go anywhere, I'd definitely pick here.
Your first 2 years at Jones, pretty impressive. You earned Division I offers because of that time, and you choose Arkansas, largely due to the defensive line coach that was there at the time. However, your time there, it just gets off to a really bumpy and rocky start. They fire the defensive line coach that you were going to, primarily that's the reason you were going to school there. And then you have your own injury that requires surgery. So you're kind of off to a bumpy start there at Arkansas.
Yeah, it was more than bumpy, but basically with Coach LeBlanc getting fired, it was kind of like a, well, what now type of situation. Because I'm like, the main reason I went, basically just gone. I didn't see it as just, okay, well, I don't want to be here anymore. I should have gave it a chance. I'm still working out. I'm still giving it my all. But then the back issue came up, and I'm just like, well, dang, maybe this ain't meant to be. I know I'm just kind of questioning myself, and it was definitely one of a dark time, if not one of the darkest times in my career.
Back injuries are tough to come back from.
Yeah, I remember the athletic trainer telling me, you might have to reconsider if you want to play football.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like sitting here like, ain't nothing to reconsider, like, this is what I want to do.
So you had a decision to make at that point. It sounds like, you got these people telling you you might need to think long and hard about continuing with football. You chose to continue.
I knew when he finished the sentence what I wanted to do.
So after surgery and rehab, I mean, you pushed to get back in shape during fall camp. There were some challenges that you faced. You talked about the self-doubt just here a second ago and the uncertainty about just your overall value to the team. Is that kind of a fair assessment of what you were dealing with?
It was real fair because, of course, coming out of JUCO, top-rated D lineman, I'm coming to start. And you go from wanting to compete to a starting spot to not even being talked about playing. You kind of just sit there like, well, I'm kind of just in the way now. At this point, I'm not healthy, I'm slow, I'm getting fat, I can't really move the way I want to move. It's kind of like, why am I here? Like, what am I doing here? This type of situation.
I read that one of the coaches basically told you to leave. Is that true?
Pretty much. It was like, you a nice kid, but you're not really going to play, so it may be best if you leave. And while it hurt, I can't say I didn't understand why they said it. It was still kind of mean. They didn't have to say it. But I get why they did it.
What coach was it?
Do
you want to say?
I say it was Coach Pittman, the head coach.
He said, nice kid, but it's just not going to work out.
Pretty much.
So you've got, although you were told to leave, you still have to continue with school.
Yeah.
And you're still forced to go to class, and you just buckled down and kind of powered through. How in the world did you keep focus, still having to go to class, knowing you weren't going to be a Razorback?
It was hard, I'm not going to lie. Because I remember that literally right after that meeting, I had a final, like a speech final. And I had to pick up a blind kid, like to take to the final because he couldn't get there on his own. So I'm sitting there tearing up, like trying to pretend to be okay while I'm driving him. He like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm chilling, I'm good. I'm just like, bruh, please don't put two and two together.
So I bet it's safe to say you were starting to think about, how can I get back to Mississippi? How can I get back home? Is that a fair bet?
That's pretty much. I didn't want to, like, at the time, when you first hear that, of course you go into the now, be like, nah, like, he gonna realize he ain't mean that. He gonna realize who I am. But then you kind of got to face back like, hey, bro, you not wanted here. Like, you kind of got to get on because you kind of hurting yourself more than anybody right now. Mm-hmm. That's when I started thinking back, like, yeah, it may be time to go back home.
You were dealing with a lot, so you decided to leave Arkansas. You come back home to Tylertown. A lot of emotions during that time. Self-doubt was starting to raise its head. You're shaking your head already. Mm-hmm. Whether your best days in football, whether they were already behind you, and then your phone rings, and it's Coach Will Hall.
Yeah,
what happened next?
Basically, he started talking like he had just called me a couple days ago, like we had just been talking the whole time, like nothing had changed. He talked to me. He knew the situation. I was free. I was out, whatever you want to call it. He just said, I got an opportunity for you to play here. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know, it's just my thing. But the more I talked to him, the more I realized, okay, like, it's not a giant school, but you can trust Coach Hall. You know what type of person he is. This might be what you need right now because you're already down. And, like, you be real with yourself. You gotta bounce back somehow, even if it's not like a top-rated school.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
We don't treat cancer, or design breathtaking buildings, or slow cook the town's most talked about barbecue. That's all you. You're the ones who create and astonish, game and laugh, who come together and imagine a safer, more connected world. The things you do inspire us every day. So much so, it's right there in our name. Customer inspired. C Spire. Inspired by you.
Between the blue sky and green grass, there's a Mississippi cattleman making sure the food you need is on your local grocery store shelves. Whether it's a big juicy steak or hamburgers for your backyard cookout, our food starts right here. Because for these cattlemen, it's not just a job, it's caring for the animals that make up our nation's food supply. Just one of the many commodities a Mississippi farmer grows for you, the farm families of Mississippi.
Hi, I'm Erica Bedwell, the Director of Rehab at Covington County Hospital. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services says you have a right to choose the swing bed program that's right for your loved ones. Our patients experience a comforting, supportive, and healing environment in large private rooms. Our swing bed staff is highly skilled and includes board-certified physicians, practitioners, and experienced nursing staff, all working alongside physical, occupational, and speech therapist staff to return your loved ones to the quality of life they deserve.
What were the main factors and reasons that ultimately led you to decide to come to Southern Miss and play for Coach Will Hall? What were the main factors?
I say is Coach Hall, one of the coaches, man, looked like Coach Hall, Coach Armstrong when he was here. I had known them since high school. They had both recruited me. I knew what type of people they were. Like, I knew I could call a Coach Hall for anything. He gonna be real with you about the situation. Kind of like a parent, you know. Even if you do something bad, he'd be like, okay, bro, like, you shouldn't have did that, blah, blah, blah. You will get the spiel, but at the same time, he gonna do his best to help you. And even Coach Armstrong, even though he's not here now, like, he was just a real cool dude, like, somebody you could talk to about anything, just somebody you can laugh with. So I just basically knew I could trust the coaches here, like, good or bad, and I can give my all to them, and they will at least appreciate it. Even if it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be, I knew I could trust them to appreciate the effort that I gave.
Look, be honest with me, man. You came back to Mississippi because you wanted that home cooking from Grandma in Mississippi. Just be honest.
That's one of the reasons I came back, especially being close to her. I could see her whenever I wanted. When back in Arkansas, I got to see her like twice. And one of the times I saw her like twice in that year was like 3 days for Thanksgiving. So that's definitely one of the reasons I came back.
So reflect on the time for me, Jalen, when you returned to the Magnolia State, when you returned home. Well, what emotions and what thoughts were you having when you knew you're back home, you're going to get to play college football here? But what was going through your mind?
It was definitely like a lot more calm because I knew, hey, if nothing else, I'm playing football again. So I had that to lean back on. Like, I'm not just out here wandering, just like scared, afraid. Am I going to if I'm going to be able to play? Will I get another offer? Just stuff like that. And just, I feel like I need to redeem myself, not just for me, but just to show like other people, like, hey, like, you caught me at a bad time. I can play football. You just have to have some trust in me. Now I can show everybody, including myself, like, I can do this. This is something I can do.
When you returned to Mississippi and joined the Southern Miss football team, can you share with us what teammates were instrumental in kind of helping you settle in and kind of made you feel at home, kind of made you feel like one of the guys?
I definitely know it's cool, mainly the D-line. I know Jordan Mahaffey, Broderius Lewis, like, I had went to school with them. So coming back and them being there was like, oh, like I'm back at Jones type situation. And all the other D linemen, Christian Booth, Quentin Bivens, Armandus Cooley, Joshua Radcliffe, and my dogs. Even to this day, Joshua Radcliffe, we call him Rat. Rat and QB, Quentin Bivens, they not even here no more, but I still feel like they my brothers. Like, we just made a bond like that nobody could break.
Can you recall the moment you made your first Eagle walk as a Southern Miss Golden Eagle? What emotions and feelings were you thinking?
I was definitely a little, well, wait. First off, it was hot. I remember that because I was sweating a lot. It was definitely like a surreal moment. Like all these people just coming to watch us play, and it just felt like crazy. Cause like, well, wow, I'm here. From going back to Arkansas, not playing, not even suiting up for a game, to being here, people cheering for us, getting ready to watch me play. It was just like a surreal experience, like I said.
So take me back to the first time you got to get on the field in a Southern Miss uniform. Finally getting out there on the field, playing football in your home state. What was that moment like?
I'll never forget it because of how crazy the situation was. It was a 4th and 1. My first ever play, I get a 4th down stop. It was just like, I was like, did that really just happen? Am I really here? I remember coming out happy, celebrating, running around. I gassed myself so bad off the celebration. Cause I remember standing still and be like, dang, I probably should have chilled out a little bit. But just my very first play, very first tackle being a 4th down stop on the 1, it was just like a crazy feeling, like kind of feeling like I'm back.
Take me inside, kind of your mind, like what is it like to be out there? I love asking this question with various athletes and former athletes. How do you just kind of tune out the noise to where does it become quiet where you don't hear anything else? How do you calm yourself to focus to make a play like a stop on a 4th and 1?
I definitely say, kind of like you said, it's just quiet, like during any game, like I don't hear a crowd or nothing, like I'm just locked in on what I'm doing. Like I have I don't want to sound crazy, but I have voices in my head saying, okay, you got this person doing this right here. And just how I kind of just hear that on my brain while I'm getting ready. Just looking at the O-line, the offense, seeing what's going on, and basically I'll just do my play to the best of my ability at that point.
Facing another injury and surgery with a torn labrum, this was in your first year at Southern Miss, if I have that correct, 2022. So here you are again, injury, surgery. How'd you manage to overcome those familiar feelings, fear and self-doubt? Like, you had to be thinking, here we go again. How did you deal with that?
I say, like, one of the major things with that was definitely Coach Hall, because though my last injury, I'm kind of just out there by myself. The coaches kind of distanced themselves from me. It was like, oh, well, he can't really do nothing now. But with Coach Hall, he was different. He was like, okay, you hurt, but you good. Like, I know you can play. You ain't got to stress about it. Just take your time to recover and come back. So that was like a way different feeling. Like, I feel like the coaches had my back instead of just me being out here, like, up in the air. Can I play? Will I be able to play good? Like, I know they got my back, if nothing else. That was definitely one of the most confident things about it. I didn't feel like they was going to throw me to the curb, like, right when I got hurt. So I say that's the main thing.
That's got to take just a huge load off your shoulders, having a guy like Coach Hall just say, hey, we got you, no problem. I mean, especially when you consider what you went through at Arkansas.
Yeah, definitely. It was like a whole different experience. Like, instead of stressing about if I can be back, now I'm just wondering about, okay, when can I get back? Like, I'm ready to go play now. I'm ready to go do this. I'm not stressing about if I can do it. I just want to hurry up and do it again. Like, I know I can do it now. I'm not just doubting myself.
In what way did coming back in 2023 and playing meaningful snaps? I mean, you played a lot in 2023. You come back from the injury, you're playing. How did that help you sort of, I guess, heal and kind of put the Arkansas situation kind of behind you?
It was basically just like a reconfirming moment. Like, yeah, I know I can do this. I'm right. Like, I was right about this. Like, this injury doesn't define me. It was just really like a self-confirmation moment that showed me, like, bro, you good. Like, don't let outside noise make you think any different.
If I have it right, you got hurt again in 2023?
Yeah. I sound a little injury prone, but I promise you I'm not.
No. I mean, I would never call you injury prone, specifically because I'm afraid of what you would do to me if I did that. But it just seems to me like at this point, I mean, you facing all the self-doubt and all the things that you had gone through at this point, and you just kept battling back and you just kept battling back. What happened in 2023? What was the injury?
See, I strained it was my PCL, the Old Dominion game, because I already had a quad strain from practice earlier that week, and I was playing through it, and the fall was just kind of awkward, and I just ended up hurting it. So at that point, I was just like, bro, you can't be serious. Again? And I was just like, dude, like, what's going on? But again, Coach Hall had my back. He was like, bro, you good. It's going to happen. People get hurt. It's not the end of the world. Like, I know you can play. Take your time and come back.
2023 season, it didn't unfold in terms of wins and losses the way that you guys would have hoped that it did. So how do y'all handle the noise and the pressure when it comes to expectations? You've got your own expectations for a football season. Your teammates have expectations. I know you do.
Yes, sir.
So how do you drown all of that out and just stay focused?
I feel like drowning it out isn't always the best thing to do. I like to use it as motivation. They just say, okay, we had 3-9 season. Like, you can't ignore it. Like, it happened. I like to use it as motivation. Okay, we didn't get the results we wanted last year. Remember back how you felt last year when we lost that 9th game, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to feel like that this year? Okay, well, we got to go. Whenever you just start to doubt yourself, whenever you feel lazy, this type of situation like that, I always just look back at how I felt back then, like losing these games. I'm like, bro, like, what can we do different? Like, what's going on? And like, okay, I don't want to feel like that now, so let me do something different now.
So you use it as fuel, essentially, is what you're saying.
Long story short,
I like
made
it.
it a lot better.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
It's your front door. You decide who and what comes inside. Shouldn't it work the same with your doorway to the internet? That's why C Spire created Connect and Protect. So age-appropriate content comes into your home, and the rest stays out there. C Spire's new Connect and Protect plans, starting at just $30 a month. Get the best devices for your kids with free guided setup today. C Spire, inspired by you.
The fabric of any community is its people. It's the commitment to hard work and to be our best. It's where you know your neighbor by name. It's where family is important. At Covington County Hospital, we are your family and friends. That's why your healthcare is important to us. From emergency room visits to primary care to behavioral health, we want to make sure that healthcare is available when you need it. Covington County Hospital, where your healthcare matters.
Up before the dawn and home long after the sun sets. We pass this farm work ethic on to our children, too. They have their chores just like yours, but we also raise animals. Taking care of these animals helps them understand just how important what we do on this farm is for their future and Mississippi's.
Another way Mississippi farmers grow what's important to your life, the farm families of Mississippi.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
Can you share a moment from 2023, like for maybe inside the defensive huddle or maybe on the sideline with your defensive teammates that, I don't know, maybe it's a funny story, maybe it's an interesting story from inside the huddle or on the sideline? Do you have a story like that?
Let me think. It's a bunch of stories. I'm trying to figure out when I can actually tell during the interview. I actually can't. I'm not gonna lie. Not one I can share on the TV.
You can share it with me afterwards.
Yeah, I got
How
you.
about that? Everybody watching is going to be like, what was the story? Sorry.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, right?
Yes, sir.
So there's a lot of buzz about Southern Miss returning to its winning ways. Fans eagerly they're awaiting this season, reminiscent of the program's glory days, winning conference championship, multiple bowl wins and games, and so on and so forth. But what, for you, Jalen, what are your expectations? We could talk about fans and media, but what are your expectations?
Talking about for the team in general?
For the season coming up.
Oh, same with Coach O. Conference championship, bowl game. Because, of course I'm on the team. I know what we got. And I know people said that last year and we underperformed, but it's like, not saying our team last year was bad, but like this team is like a whole new team, like leadership-wise, motivation-wise, like player-wise. Like, we different this year than we were last year. I know, of course, people are going to say that after a 3-9 last year. It's regular last year, going to be like, well, I hope so. Y'all weren't very good last year. But if you were in the locker room, like on the field with us, you would like, see, oh, they different. Even the coaches say that now. That's how I'm confident. Like Coach Hall said, we got ambitious goals, but we can reach them. I know we can.
Technically speaking, for you, you guys have changed from this primarily a 3-4 defense to more of a 4-down defensive alignment. So for you, what's been the biggest change in transitioning from that 3-4 front to now more of a 4-down lineman front?
I'll say it's been because they moved me from nose to tackle, so I went from more for like an inside to a shade to mainly a primary 3 technique. So even though I played some 3, I'd say a transition would be more just playing to the boundary more because, last year I played to the field more. And there's no issue or anything like that. It's just more small things like, okay, I'm always at the boundary. Okay, so I mean, I had to get a block different or they're going to probably run away from me more since I'm to the boundary. It's just more small stuff like that. Because, like, the defense is actually really good. I like it a lot. So doing it hasn't been any issue. It's just been more like smaller things like that.
Do you like this system more than the system last year?
I like both systems, but I definitely get the edge of this system more. It's a lot more just base stuff, a lot more just playing a gap. It's not as much sling, but while we do some sling, it's not just nothing crazy. Like, here's just a lot more, like I said, base, playing a gap, make a play. Just technique and just focusing on striking. Not a lot of just having to sling and worry about getting to a gap. You already in the gap, you just play the gap and make a play.
So how does a combination of all the returning players like yourself that you guys have, and now switching to Coach Big Nail's new system, how do you feel that better positions the defense to try to return to some of those glory days like the Nasty Bunch and Southern Miss has had a lot of great defensive players here. So how do you feel that combination pretty much sets you guys up for a good run this year?
I feel like it sets us up good because you got a lot of players that have played with a lot of experience, and now you just letting them play. Like, you let them use their athleticism, their strength, just everything they got to just play. They're not stressing about really just getting to a gap. They stress more about playing the gap itself and just reading and what's going on. So I feel like that makes it like 10 times easier for everybody because it's a lot more simple, a lot more straightforward. Go make a play. Not worrying about, okay, what's my assignment, what I got to do in this situation.
What is your approach to film study? Like, what are you looking for or taking mental notes on when you're watching a particular offensive player or particular offense? Like, what tales are you looking for when you're watching film?
I'll say my first tale will be the formation they in. Then I'll go like by stance. If I'm watching the guard, I'll watch the guard stance. I'll watch a run play and a pass play. I'll see, okay, how they stance and run. I'll look at it, how they stance and pass. Is it any different? Like, is his leg kick back more? Is he high? Then I'll look for a pull and rep. I'll try to compare all 3 to see if they do anything different. Then I'll see how they do like a run, a double team, a single block, a cutoff block. I'll see how to do a vertical set, a jump set, all those types of different situations. And I try to base it off the formation. So now, okay, in this formation, during a run, he's going to attack me this way. In that same formation, if it's pass, he'll attack me this way. And I'll just do it step by step. I'll go to that person, now I'll do the center, now I'll do the guard. And I probably won't look at the tackles, honestly, because I won't go up against them. But I'll just do it like that way.
You just sound like a coach.
I don't want to brag, but I know a little something.
Well, speaking of that, you're kind of considered one of the quote, old heads, right? On the team now, you're one of the older guys. And
I wouldn't see it that way, but I guess so.
Well, you're one of the leaders. How about that?
Yeah, that's
You're one of the leaders, and so a lot of young guys are looking up to, looking up to folks like you.
Yes, sir.
How would you say that, you've established yourself as a leader in the locker room for some of the older guys and some of the younger guys too?
I'll say I'm definitely more of a lead by example leader. I ain't the type of person to just go yelling like, hey, you go do that, blah, 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 blah. Because a lot of people don't respond well to that. You don't know what they went through in the past, this type of situation. That can cause somebody to shut down. I'll be like, hey, in this situation, you should probably do this instead of that. Then I'll do it myself. Because if I tell you to do something and I don't do it myself, I'm be like, well, you ain't do it. Why should I do it? I'll be like, hey, bro, you should do this and that. Then they see me doing it. Like, of course, like, if they actually care and they want to listen, which most of them do, like, they'll do it.
The off season was marked, unfortunately, by a tragic loss in your teammate MJ Daniels.
Yes, sir.
Infectious smile, warm and kind spirit, just left a lasting impression with everyone he came in contact with. In what ways have you seen your teammates come together in this off season, regarding MJ not being with us anymore, and how do you guys plan on honoring him this season?
I say we couldn't together more, like, as a team to work, because we all know, like, he will work. Like, that's one thing you can count on him doing 24/7. So we want to honor him properly by working, and by doing the work that he would want us to do in that situation. And just sticking together, knowing, like, this season bigger than us now. Like, we got to do it for him. Because we know if that one of us that went down, he would be doing the same thing for us. So that's why we're pretty much dedicating the whole season to him, because this is what he deserved at the very least.
How well did you know MJ?
I'm not gonna lie, we wasn't just the closest to, but he was somebody I already knew I could count on. Like, okay, MJ, I know he got his stuff. Like, I know I can go to him if I need something. If I need help, I need somebody to talk to. And I knew he was a cool person that was just always there for you. Like you said, that smile too. If you're ever feeling down, just go talk to him. I promise you'll feel 100 times better.
I know you guys are gonna honor him and honor him well. There's a lot of really awesome uniform combos that Southern Miss has had through the years and here recently. I don't want to get you in trouble with any fans, but if you've got a favorite, what's your favorite combo? You got one?
I got one, but it might be a little biased. It's our white top, yellow bottom, white cleats, but that's the same uniform combo I got my first second. So I always get nostalgic whenever we put it on.
What helmet?
That's a good question. I think it was a white helmet. It was a white helmet.
Was it the white helmet?
Yeah.
The white helmets.
Oh, yeah, I like the white helmet. I'm not going to lie to you.
Those are sharp. I really like those.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
It has often been said that home is where the heart is. It's where hard-working and dedicated people form the fabric of a thriving community. At Covington County Hospital, it's our priority to help keep our community safe, healthy, and moving. With our primary care clinics and services, we are working to keep you healthy. Because home is where the heart is. Home is where family matters. Covington County Hospital, where your health care matters.
We don't treat cancer, or design breathtaking buildings, or slow cook the town's most talked about barbecue. That's all you. You're the ones who create and astonish, game and laugh, who come together and imagine a safer, more connected world. The things you do inspire us every day, so much so, it's right there in our name. Customer inspired. C Spire, inspired by you.
Harvested in June and July, Mississippi-grown sweet corn arrives just in time for your cookout or outdoor get-together. But you better be quick. Once Mississippi-grown sweet corn appears on your local farmers market shelves, it disappears just as fast. There are so many ways to cook and eat Mississippi-grown sweet corn, but of course our favorite is corn on the cob.
Sweet corn, just one of the many foods a Mississippi farmer grows for you. The farm families of Mississippi.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
So the To the Top Collective, they've created this positive environment for you guys to excel in the ever-changing landscape of NIL. And there's something, the ground shifting, it seems like every day with NIL. But you've got some great folks with the To the Top Collective that help you guys navigate those uncertain waters. So what's been your experience with the To the Top Collective?
It's been real great, actually. Mr. P, he a cool dude. Like, he gonna say it out for you. He gonna simplify it for you, telling you what you gotta do, like what options you got. He's just a cool person. And he's not gonna try to, like, make it more complicated than what it needed to be. He's not gonna try to, like, sweep your feet out from under you, telling you something you don't understand. He gonna be cool with you, explain to you plainly, and just help you out the best he can. Even when he don't have to, he gonna go above and beyond for you.
We were talking before the interview, you know, he actually is here today. He walked in and greeted us. And, you know, I told you, you know, having someone, do you feel like with him being a former player, that kind of helps him relate to you guys a little better?
Oh, definitely, because he knows how you feel. Like, he'll know after a practice, hey, I know you tired, but just come do this on. So he'll know when to approach you, like how to approach you. He'll be like, hey, before you do this, because I know you're going to be tired after this, you mind doing this and this, and just stuff like that. Like, it's easier for, like you said, for him to relate to us, you know, how to approach us, how to talk to us, and just stuff like that.
So I'm going to kind of switch it up on you a little bit. So when you're not sitting down with folks like me or analyzing game film or practicing or any number of things that you have to do to be a student athlete here at Southern Miss, what is it that you do to just, what activities are you involved with that just kind of help you wind down and relax and just chill?
Now, man, I just play video game. Like, I was almost late to the interview playing NCAA. I was recruiting. I wanted the last couple of recruits in before I left. I had to rush here.
You weren't late. We were good. We actually were talking about that out here, the new NCAA game. So
yes,
you've been playing a lot of that?
A lot.
So are you happy with the rating they gave you? Or
yeah, it could be a little high, but, you know, it just started off, so I give them some time.
Give a little higher?
Yes, sir.
You were telling me, like, they have it now where if you perform well during the upcoming season, like, that will affect your rating in real time on the game. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's what I've been hearing. Kind of like how Madden does it based on, like, your performance week to week. They can raise it or lower it, depending.
Are you the best on the team at the game?
I don't want to, no comment right now.
No comment?
Yeah.
Who's the best trash talker?
There's a lot of them, so it's hard.
Give me a couple.
I say.
Are you a trash talker?
I gotta be in my zone, trash talk. I gotta be confident. Just at the game, I say Ethan Crawford, the quarterback, Jaleel, and Tamil, off the top of my head.
So Jaleel's a trash talker.
Yeah. Don't let him lie to you when you come in here. Yeah.
So if we hop in your vehicle right now, we hop in my vehicle, and we're going to your favorite place to go and grab some grub in Hattiesburg, which is where? What is your favorite place?
I eat pretty much anywhere, but I had to say Mugshot.
Mugshots? Good choice. So we're going to Mugshots, and we're in your vehicle, or we're in mine. What are you punching up? What are we listening to on the way?
I say Big Scar.
Who?
Big Scar, a rapper. You probably don't know him.
His name is Big Scar?
Yeah.
I kind of like him already.
He is cool.
Know, with my last name and everything. Yeah. So his name is Big Scar.
Yeah.
Okay. What else are we listening to?
I would say NBA Youngboy, but he a little too played out. I done heard him too much.
Played out. Okay. So are you listening to Big Scar when you're getting ready for, when you're walking out, or like how do you get ready for a game? Do you listen to music?
I do that. A lot of what I do is trying to stay loose, because I know, like, the more tense I get, the more nervous I be. So I'll probably be loose, walking around. I'll probably take some jokes, you know. People think I ain't taking the game serious, but that's just how I warm up. Because the looser I am, like, the better I play. I just like being, you know, me. I don't want to get all tense or too hyped, because I'm out doing stuff I ain't never done.
So you truly adhere to the whole, I guess, mindset, thought process. No game's bigger than the other. Approach every game the same.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm hearing.
Pretty
much.
Is
that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that approach. So finish the sentence for me. Southern Miss is successful in 2024 if
we come together as a team, just trust our coaches, and more importantly, just stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Yeah,
yes,
you've had a time with that.
Yeah.
But you're ready for this year.
Oh, trust me, I'd be more ready for this year than I'd been like any other one.
So my final question for you: you're a Mississippi native. You've had a college career and life that has presented its fair share of ups and downs, to say the very least.
Mm-hmm.
But here you sit today, ready to go. How do you hope to remember your time as a Southern Miss Golden Eagle?
I just want to look back at a time where I redeemed myself and showed myself that I could do something and just prove like all my doubts was wrong. And just a place where I came in and changed the culture and just made everybody around me better.
Man, I followed your story for a while now. I didn't tell you that before the interview, but I followed your story. And your story is one of resilience and triumph. And you've got a fan in me. I'm rooting for you this year. I'll be watching. And hope you have a lot of success this year. And just wish you all the best in your future endeavors, man. Thank you for taking time to do this.
Ain't no problem. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, man. You want to say to the top?
To the top.
Appreciate it, man.
Ain't no problem. Yeah, they just get hot. That's the only bad thing about it.
Yeah. You ready? Huh? You rolling? Okay. All right. I'll count us down and we'll get started. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jalen Williams coming in 3, 2, and 1. Good interview, man.
Appreciate it.
Good, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another episode of Audibles with Jason Scarborough.